Hey everyone, it's Laurie. Welcome back to my channel. So today, I'm in a new location at my Tim's house, so I kind of had to prop myself a palm tree and stuff. So Happy New Year everybody! Today is my first video in 2017, so I wanted to wish you all a Happy New Year. So today I quickly want to go over setting yourself some goals, and I know I've made a video like this last year, so I'll link it down below. This year I'm not really going to tell you about the what and why and how and all of that stuff. All it really comes down to, no matter what goal you set for yourself, it's all about consistency, planning, and accountability. So no matter what goal you have, if you don't have any of those three things, it won't happen or it will be very difficult. So one thing I did back in December is I found a YouTuber that's a really amazing YouTuber. You guys should check her out. Her name is Eileen. She runs lavendaire.com, and she's also Lavendaire on YouTube, and she created this workbook. So some of you may have heard about it before, but basically it's the Artist of Life workbook. And after reading about it and just watching her stuff and everything, I realized that she was a really cool YouTuber and she had a lot of really inspiring and motivating content. So I decided to encourage her and purchase her workbook. Her workbook is over 60 pages of reflection and questions to help you set your goals, to help you develop yourself and grow as a person. And on top of getting the workbook when you buy it, which is about $25 if I remember correctly, you also get access to a very motivating and vibrant community Facebook group that she created for all the people who are doing the workbook. And it's honestly full of very creative and inspiring people. I feel like I've made friends there. And I'm not usually a social media person, you know me, I'm kind of bad at it, but that's something I've been actually able to go because I look forward to it. It's not like scrolling down your feed, you know, like I'm actually excited to see what people have posted and if anybody replied to me and stuff, you know. And on top of all of that, she also offers a few live webinars and live chats. So there's a lot of interactivity in this workbook, so it's not just like print and go and do your stuff. I mean, you can, but there's also so many interactive things you can do to stay accountable and stay consistent and get inspiration and get motivation. And the goal book at the end of the workbook also has a review portion. So every single month she sets a date where everybody's gonna like check in basically. You don't really have to, but it's just to stay accountable. So like everybody in the group is gonna be telling everyone how they're doing and how their goals are going and stuff. So it keeps you accountable. So this group is truly a great way to find support and motivation and inspiration. Now here are a few of my favorite things in this workbook. First, there's a bunch of pages at the beginning of the workbook that are based on 2016. So it's kind of a retrospection, reflection of what happened in 2016. And it's really based on positivity and accomplishments and gratitude, you know, like it's not about like everything that went wrong this year, even though obviously some things went wrong, and there's a little box what didn't work, and you write it down, but then you also say why it didn't work, so maybe next year you can do better. So I think the thought process of this entire workbook is really great, especially for a first edition. I'm sure she'll make some adjustments, but it's really great. Like I was really impressed with the quality of the content because I know that she was playing with the idea, but she only started working on it very last minute. So I'm really impressed with the quality of content she actually produced in such a small amount of time. Aileen, thumbs up. Like. Then the second thing is something that I watched in one of her live webinars that I watched earlier this year, where she talks about doing a current versus future me. So you write down everything about your current self, what you think, what you feel, what you say, and then you write what you want to say, what you want to feel, and what you want to do a year from now. And it's kind of hard to stay positive when you're thinking about your current self because all you want to do is grow and be better. But I think it's really important to also like put the good things that you think and you say and you do, you know, because you're not all bad right now, even though you want to improve. So yeah, but the current versus future me is a really good way to actually get a better picture, a better idea of where you want to go. Then there's area-specific goals, and I'm actually gonna look down on my notebook because there's a bunch of them. So there's specific goals for every single area of your life, anything you could possibly think of, and they all have specific questions to help you set the goals for those areas of your life. There's health, relationship, career, personal growth, creativity, spirituality, home, money, adventure, and there's also lifetime goals, which are not a one-year plan goal, but more like your goals for the rest of your life, basically ultimate goals. And finally, I really like the way she set up her goal book, which is at the end of the workbook, where you can actually set really achievable goals. I really like the way she designed the page because I feel like it's a really easy and simple way to create and follow up on a goal. So yeah, so that's everything I have to say about the workbook. I'll link it down below if you want to buy it, if you want to support Eileen. I'll also link her channel and her website down below because she's amazing. It's not a collab, it's not sponsored. I truly enjoyed everything she does. And she's one of my idols now, I swear. So yeah, this workbook is amazing. If you have it or if you want to get it, make sure to let me know, and we can also chat on the mastermind group that she has. Now, after completing the workbook, I realized that I had some smaller goals that were more like habits or to-do things, you know, like just do it once type of thing, kind of like a bucket list or a checklist. And then I had some goals that required multiple steps. So I kind of created a little bit extra pages myself. So I decided to combine what I learned in the workbook with something I learned in a book I read several years ago, The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. I believe that's how you say her name. So I'll link the book down below if you want to check it out. But in the book, she basically sets a bunch of goals for herself, but in area specific, kind of like in the workbook. But she gives herself an area per month. So every month she works on a different aspect of her life and slowly build up on her goals. And she does that rather than trying to just be a completely new person on January 1st, which makes total sense because it's kind of impossible, and that's why everybody kind of gives up on their resolution so fast, is because it's impossible to change absolutely everything in your life and everything about yourself in 30 days. So I think that working on little things every single month and focusing on one area can really be easier and more successful. I think it can help you build lasting habits and progress towards your end goals. So here is how I planned my year. So I'm just going to go quickly through it. I'm going to try to make it quick because I feel like this video is crazy long already. But I'll just tell you every single month what theme I'm going to be working on and a few of the steps that I'm going to be taking. So January is my foundation month. It's the month where I'll be just creating a bunch of habits and trying to get myself off to a good start. I'm going to be using a habit stacking method, and that's actually a technique Eileen talked about in one of her videos a while back. I'm going to be using that to try to make my morning and my evening routine more productive and incorporate more things into it. So I want to incorporate meditation into my morning routine and journaling in my evening routine. I also want to work on my school routine. I want to be a little bit more accountable and a little bit more productive. And that's actually going to be a really good time for me to do that in January, because if you guys don't know, didn't watch my video on that, I am launching a study challenge. You still have a week to enroll if you want to do it, but basically it's a study challenge with all of you guys, everybody that signs up, and it's to keep us accountable and work on study techniques and all that kind of stuff. And I know I will benefit from this as well because it's very interactive and I want a back and forth conversation with you all, so you can give me tips, I can give you tips, and we can all help each other. So that will help me with my school routine. Then I want to be more consistent with the gym. I want to get back on track, you know, like the holidays were a bit rough. If you've been on my fitness Instagram, you would know that. I posted a post about that in 2017. But yeah, so I just want to get back into it, work harder than ever, reach new goals, you know. And I also want to be more consistent with my meal prep so I can save time, money, and just be more efficient overall with my nutrition and healthier. And finally, every single month, I wrote myself a book I want to read for the month that's related to the theme. So this month, like, I know this doesn't seem like it, but all of those little things are to help my anxiety. And that's one thing I really want to help dial back a little bit in January, so the rest of the year is a lot easier. So for January, I'm going to be reading The Worry Trick, which is a book I got a few months ago, and this is not a real cover. Actually, I just covered it with paper so it would look better on my shelf. I'll link it down below as well. But The Worry Trick is just a book on how your brain tricks you into expecting the worst and what you can do about it. So it's about anxiety and fixing it and feeling better about it. So I'm going to be finishing this book in January. Then February. The rest of the months are going to be less detailed, I promise, because it's going to be too long. So February is the month where I'll be focusing on relationships, and I mean friendships, and my marriage, and my family, and all of that good stuff. So I want to spend more time reaching out to my friends and family, talking to them on the phone, or hanging out with them. I want to be kinder. I really want to work on extreme kindness, which is something that Gretchen did in The Happiness Project. And I want to spread love, so I want to do little things, bursts of love, and little things out of love, basically. I just want to live a loving month. Then March is going to be focused on money, so I'm going to be working on my budget. We already have a budget that we worked on for January 1st, but I'll be assessing like whether it's working or not, and I'll be making adjustments and all that stuff. And then I want to start planning a more sustainable saving plan. And I want to research investments as well. Since I'll be studying it, it'll be easier for me. I want to also start working on my business plan because I do want to start my own business and start making money. And then I also want to reevaluate my wish list because I feel like there's a lot of things that I want that I can't afford that are necessary. So I kind of want to get that out of my wish list. Then in April, I'll be working on home. I'll be finishing the rest of my home, so every little pieces that I still want, I'll be putting in my house. I also want to start working on minimalism, so I'll probably declutter my house a lot. I want to go home, my real home, back to my family. I want to visit them because I don't get to do that very often. And I want to read The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And then in May, I'll be working on health. So I'll be switching up my program because I'll be on the same program in January as I was back in December, just maybe a bit more consistent. So I'll have that for 5 months, and then I will change it up. Then I want to try new activities, so things that I haven't been doing. I want to go on a hike. I want to have a new pampering routine because that's part of health, like your mental health. And I want to make a goal to eat, like a habit to eat at least 1 fruit and 1 vegetable a day, or maybe 2 or 3 or whatever. We'll see how that goes. If you've been watching my fitness series, you know that this is a big problem of mine, and you may know why, and it doesn't matter, and I don't want to be judged for it, but I know I have to make some effort, but it's a very long process for me. Then in June, I'll be working on my attitude. I'll be reading The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Then I want to practice daily gratitude, so I'll probably start a gratitude journal. I want to go volunteering. I want to mentor or teach or help someone. I want to focus on being positive, and I also want to donate a bunch of stuff. Then in July, I'll be working on my business. So I have a lot of ideas and projects for the fall, especially for back to school since it's going to be focused on school. So July is kind of going to be like the last month to sprint and get everything done. So I want to work on growing my business. I want to work on my fall and back to school rebranding. I also want to work on my social media presence because I know I suck at this. You don't need to tell me. And just learn a lot about business. And I have a couple books to read for that month too. Then in August, I want to work on personal development. So I want to go to a yoga retreat with my friend Natasha. I also want to become a mentor. I want to refocus on meditating and maybe even amp up my meditation practice if I can make it there. Let's be positive and think I can. And then I also want to watch TED Talks daily just to instruct myself. In September, I'll be focusing on school. Very original, I know. So I'll be releasing my new school products. I'll also be planning my upcoming year and assessing the year that I just did because I started last year. So I'm going to see how far I've come in a year of distance learning, self-paced studies. And then I'll be planning the upcoming years. And then I want to work on developing new study habits, and I want to try new study techniques as well. In October, I want to work on creativity. So I will be reading Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, and I wish I would read it earlier this year, but creativity is just lower in my priorities, so unfortunately I'll have to wait. Then I want to write a song. I want to create something new, so that leaves a lot of space for imagination and creativity. I want to work on my editing technique and just learn a lot more about my cameras and stuff. I really want to make that month about improving my content by just learning new skills and developing my talent, basically. And I want to learn to knit, because why not? Then November is going to be based on spirituality, so I want to amp up my yoga practice. I want to start doing daily pages, which is something Eileen does and talks about a lot. So I want to write pages every single day. I also want to meditate more and find my purpose. And finally, in December, I want to work on adventures. Woo, that's fun, right? So Tim and I are going to go on a trip. Right now, we're kind of considering going to Oahu. So we might go there. I also want to go to another basketball game like we did. You might have seen in my latest vlog. Then I want to visit a museum. I want to try new food. I want to try something new that's local. So something I've never done in my own city or in Tim's city or in Kingston. Maybe even 3 of them. And then I want to also pet an exotic animal. So those are all like adventurous things for me. Ooh, I know, no skydiving, no bungee jumping, no crazy stuff, but still crazy for me. So yeah, so these are all the things I want to do this year. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if it was long. I'm sorry if the lighting kept changing. The sun was really not on my side today. Make sure to thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you'd like to see updates, monthly updates on what theme I'm working on and what I'll be doing for that. Don't forget to go check out Lavendaire's YouTube channel, website, and look at her workbook and see if you want to get it for yourself. And yeah, I hope this helped you. I hope this inspired you. I hope you can have an awesome 2017 and we can make it the best year ever. And yeah, like I'm really hopeful for this year. So let's kick some butt. Have a good day, guys. Bye.